The rewriting of energy is going to be critical for one simple reason, that by 2050, there will be close to 10 billion people living on this planet, and the energy needs are going to be strapped. We started, as the industrial era came into its sort of growth and its fruition, very heavily into fossil fuels and non-renewable sources. I think it's pretty clear that we're at a stage that we need alternatives, whether it's water coming up through the streets in Miami, whether it's storm season, shrinking of the Arctic and the shrinking of Greenland's ice caps. There is no doubt that there is an impact on the planet. So the companies that can start to figure out how we use resources in a way that are less harmful for the planet, that's going to be a very, very big part of the next decade. Currently, energy is something we buy from someone else. You didn't really have much choice. Imagine a world where you can actually live off-grid, taking your own energy needs into your own hands.
Redox started in 2012 and is rewriting the way customers can get their electricity.
Redox is creating an environment where you can create fuel cells and you can stack them like Lego so that you can power a whole home or a community.
The Cube is a 25 kilowatt generator. We take a number of fuel cells and put them together. We run on natural gas, but we're not burning the fuel. We're converting it directly in an electrochemical reaction to electricity. That makes it much cleaner and much more efficient. We designed the Cube to actually look different on purpose, Star Trek-ish. It can go into an elevator shaft, into the basement of the building, or outside the building. Most people have no idea how their electricity is produced. They just know when they turn on a light, it comes on. And when power goes out, they get upset. You're at the mercy of their utility lines and the weather and what have you. Redox is focused on giving the customer new options. Your power is in your control, even if the grid goes out.
The world of energy consumption at a consumer level is about to get rewritten, and companies like Redox are at the forefront of that change.
I'm Alla Weinstein. I'm the founder of Triton Winds. Triton Winds was conceived to develop offshore wind off the west coast of the United States. It's capturing the wind by using wind turbines, which is something that humans have been doing for many, many years, starting with windmills and moving them out into the ocean. Because the winds offshore are stronger and they're more consistent, and that's why where you can see capacity factors in 30% onshore, you will see capacity factors in 50–60% offshore. But the issue with the west coast of the United States, you couldn't really even think about doing an offshore wind project because we get to pretty deep waters within just a few miles offshore. You have to have the right technology to go into that water depth. So we're looking at about 100 units. The wind turbines are going to be floating on the surface of the ocean, and they're going to be moored to the bottom rather than sitting right on the bottom. And the area that we selected is going to be between 800 and 1,000 meters. So it's very deep, and it's only 30 miles offshore.
And they can create almost enough power in the one farm that they're testing to power the homes of almost 7 million people.
So we are paving the way to a new industry, new renewable energy source.
Triton Winds is a rewriter because they are opening up brand new territory around exploration of how we trap energy on the planet. The company's come up with the idea to pull carbon out of the atmosphere to literally vacuum out and reverse the damage that we've already done.
If you think of a dehumidifier, it takes the water molecules from air. Our product does the same. But instead of taking water, you're taking CO2. The easiest way of describing it is that it is a power plant that cleans the atmosphere. We call it carbon negative. We are turning the bad into the good by creating a market for carbon. Make it useful. We take the CO2 and we make it into materials for plastics, for synthetic fuels, for beverages. As you drink, you will be cleaning the atmosphere. Same thing when you eat a hamburger that has been frozen with dry ice, because CO2 is dry ice. Our technology is very, very, very low cost, and that's key. An example, companies are using CO2. The CO2 has to be trucked, and in some parts of the US, it's brought through pipelines. So we can bring here one global thermostat plant, we can put it next to a bottler. So they will be using the CO2 from air. You don't need to transport it. You save a lot of money.
They are taking one of the most ambitious approaches to handling reversal of climate change on the planet. That just speaks of a rewrite in and of itself. Energy and energy consumption affects almost everything we do. So getting that part right going forward is going to be a fundamental piece of how we survive on the planet and how we ensure that we're actually advancing. I believe this is one of the greatest crises that we're going to face, certainly in our lifetime, if not our children's lifetime. But there's no question that we are on a path to being able to solve and contain the problem.